Step into the realm of the paranormal on Til The Last Drop, a show that blends paranormal stories and events with a themed drink.
So welcome back to this part 2 of our zombie series.
Ooh, part 2.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't really say series because it's not really a series. It's more of just like
A 2-part?
the second part. Yeah. But in comparison to the other things that we've seen zombies with, I mean, if it's a series, it'll go on for like, 16 to 18 seasons. And it'll probably be like avoiding most of the zombie topics and going into like something else.
I don't know. Are we on Netflix?
Maybe.
Then we get one season and then we're cut.
Darn.
That's the way of Netflix.
Well, within our last episode of this, we covered the origin, history, and we went into some of the pop culture references that were part of the zombie basis, I suppose. Yeah. In this one, we're actually going to go over where the zombies have gone in some of the different video games because it is a very lucrative topic in these video games, or a lucrative subject, I suppose.
They're in everything.
Yeah. We'll also be going into our drink in this episode as well. So let's get started.
Yeah.
The dead will rise, so they can hear more content from Til The Last Drop.
So the first game reference that I can think of that has at least been most impactful for me has been the zombie mode within Call of Duty. Starting off in, I believe it was World at War, so Call of Duty 5 at that point. It was just an additional little map that was at the end of the campaign that you could go and play, and it was maybe a little 2-story small building that you just tried to survive as many rounds as you could. You could board up the windows. You could buy weapons off the walls. There was a stationary mystery box that could give you a range of different weapons.
Was this not in the Black Ops games?
They re-released the map.
Oh,
but
no, I meant this was the first one came out in a regular Call of Duty, because aren't the other ones in Black Ops?
Yeah, the World of War. Well, it was all mainly based off of the Treyarch versions of the games. It was kind of a additional like mode that they didn't even put much attention into at first until it gained a lot of popularity.
Until people were like, "Wait, no, we like that."
Yeah. So it was basically World at War was basically just another one of Call of Duty's World War II version, I guess, themed games.
One of them.
Yeah. So after the main campaign and whatnot, it had that one zombie map. So it was known as like Nazi zombies. It wasn't just zombies. They actually were themed for the game. So this small room, you had your mystery box. You had like other weapons that you could get out of it from the campaign. There was also like a special weapon, a ray gun. So that was like extremely overpowered and let people get into like higher rounds and all that. But as far as the map goes, it wasn't as dynamic. Later on, through other DLCs for this game, they released an asylum. They released a Japanese style swamp forest area.
Okay.
And then of course there was Doris at the end, or the giant. That one, that is where the story for it actually started to expand and become something more than just try to live as long as you can while killing zombies and getting points.
Yeah, because there's actually a really expansive, in-depth story in the Call of Duty Zombies franchise.
Not only has this map been remade and revisited within, I believe it was Cold War, Call of Duty Cold War, or Black Ops Cold War. Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War. There's 3 subsections of a name in there. The original version basically had you going from a starting hub with a pack-a-punch machine, which lets you make your weapon more powerful so that you can kill zombies more efficiently and whatever. It was locked behind a teleporter. You had to link all 3 teleporters to that to be able to access it. So building upon that idea, they went into different areas that they had the zombies in. So, for instance, moving on to the Black Ops series, they had a theater, which the main characters from the previous game teleported into. I'm trying to remember what else they had in there. There's like, I guess they had like a sub-series where it was in the Pentagon.
Really? I don't remember that.
Yeah, that one was with JFK. John McNamara, I think his name was. Richard Nixon and Fidel Castro.
Oh, I remember you talking about Nixon.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were all in there. That was kind of a weird, like, little sub thing, but it was...
Let's say, isn't it not...
It was fun because of the quotes of the characters.
That's not... I don't think those ones were directly related to the storyline, right?
I don't think it really was. The map itself was revisited later on as DLC for one of the other games. Mm-hmm. But it was... I think you were going back as different characters in this area. So it was... I don't know. It had some reference in there.
Okay. So it started out as just a one-off kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they eventually realized, oh, people like this. So they kept going. And then they eventually came up with an actual story.
Yeah.
To go along with it.
Yeah. So there's like 3 different sagas or stories, I suppose. There's like the Aether story, which is what includes most of World at War, Black Ops 2, 3, and 4.
And that's the story with Richtofen and...
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a Chaos story, which is mostly featured in Black Ops 4. And then there's a Dark Aether saga as well, which is Cold War and Call of Duty Vanguard. But we're not going to talk about Vanguard. We're also not going to talk about anything that came from Call of Duty World War II.
Okay.
So those are also things that are important to to realize in this.
So in these games, the zombies come from a very particular thing.
Yeah.
And what is that?
Well, it's believed that, if I remember correctly, which it's been forever since I've actually looked into the lore of all of this, I believe it came from like the meteor 115 or the element in the meteors 115.
Right. And it somehow affected corpses and brought them back.
Yeah. But there was also like a catalyst that could control them as well. If there's been so much. So for a while, I believe like it was Maxis's daughter, Samantha, that was able to control these zombies after something happened. And then like...
What? Oh, and Maxis and Richtofen weren't they both the scientists that were researching 115?
Yeah, they were 2 of the German scientists that were researching the effects of it. And I think it was mainly for teleportation. But again, I have not been up on the storyline for a long time. I do know that recently within here, and this is a little bit outside of traditional release and all that, but there is a remade version of Call of the Dead on Black Ops 3 on the PC version, which brings back our good friend George Romero. So, and that one was based off of like, there was a movie shoot in like the upper north, I think it was. So it's
cold.
Like, yeah, there's like,
Icy.
it's a snowscape and there's like a ship that's kind of frozen in and all that. And I think they were like filming a zombie film, and then the zombies turned out to start being real. So it's like you play as Sarah Michelle Gellar, Danny Trejo. Yeah. Robert Englund and who was the last one? Michael Rooker.
And isn't George Romero?
Yeah. George Romero gets dragged into the water by the zombies, and he becomes this massive lumbering giant, like over the top zombie wielding a production light. So,
but that's one of the things, and they have like throughout all of the different Call of Duty like zombie series, because they would release like 4 maps or something.
Most of the cases, yeah.
For each new game.
Yeah.
They all had one that was kind of outside the story a little bit.
Some of them,
if I remember, had actual like known famous, I don't want to, like voice actors are obviously known, but like known actors.
Yeah.
And actresses that portrayed, like they had Alcatraz.
Yeah, in the Mob of the Dead.
And that one was pretty cool. And then they had...
I think that was actually the first map that you could defeat, or not defeat, but I suppose like end. You didn't have to like die to the zombies to be able to like end your play cycle. You could actually like choose to just end the runs.
I thought that it like I thought that you ended it, but it like restarted the cycle or something.
Well, you broke the cycle of those characters.
Yeah, they were like stuck in a I can't think of the word.
A loop. An infinite loop.
Yeah. Like a purgatory kind of thing where like they just kept having to relive it. And they talked about that. Mm-hmm. And they could eventually get all the you're trying to find parts and pieces to things and solve like mysteries and things throughout all of them. That's what you're doing. You're finding all these pieces that lead up to a big, payoff.
Yeah.
While being killed or, chased relentlessly by zombies.
Yeah. And it's an interesting style of gameplay, mainly because, you're fighting against zombies. These are like, I suppose, classified as fast zombies.
Some of them.
Yeah. Well, they start off slow, and obviously to ramp up the difficulty, they get faster. Mm-hmm. But it's mostly it seems as though it's like crowd control. But if you're trying to do, say, an Easter egg to figure out more of the storyline or anything like that, it's more or less like it comes down to save a grenade, like get the last zombie to crawl so you have more time to move around and then do what you need to do.
Yeah, and you have to like plan out how you want to do it. You have to learn where everything is. But
which now is not difficult at all because people basically speed run the Easter eggs to the point where they're solved before the game is even released.
Yeah.
So, which is a very suspicious, but
But then there was also one of my favorite, which I don't play it, but I liked watching, the one with Ron Perlman and Jeff Goldblum.
Shadows of Evil.
Oh, yeah. I loved that one. That had it almost brought in like Lovecraftian horror elements.
It was very much similar. I mean,
and
you're looking at it looks like it's a 1930s, 1940s style, like large city. And then there's throughout the story of the Easter egg progression, there's a massive like Lovecraftian tentacle monster in the sky.
Yeah, so, that one was cool. And that's there were zombies too.
Yeah.
There were also zombies.
Yeah. And
that one was cool though.
And they worked that into the overall storyline of the later maps that were released with that.
Yeah. So because again, like there's the 4 main characters. Mm-hmm. Richtofen. What are their names?
It was like Edward Richtofen, Tank Dempsey. Nikola. Oh, geez. Not Tesla.
Nope. He's good though. I like him.
Nikolai, I think it was, if that's the case. And it was Takio, but I don't remember. I don't remember their full names. So, but yeah, those were the standard 4.
Yeah, and then they had Nikolai Blinsky, Tank Dempsey, Edward Richtofen, and Takio Masaki.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they called him Nikolai and Takio.
Yeah.
And Dempsey and Richtofen. Those 4 characters were the main story. And they had to solve, you had to go through, and like I said, it wasn't just about killing the zombies. It was about figuring out how it came to be, what was going on, and how to stop it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the basis of all zombie apocalypse scenarios.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what happened? What can we do? How do we fix it?
Yeah. Obviously, this went into a huge storyline. Just because, like, there's so many maps. There's so much that they added into it. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's an entire, like, timeline and an entire, like, plot synopsis and all that online, which we'd be here for days.
Well, yeah.
If we really tried to get into all this.
I'm sure the timeline's really intense too, because didn't they go back in time? I mean, there's a time where Richtofen kills himself.
Yeah.
So like he comes in a teleporter and shoots himself.
Yeah.
And then takes the rest of the team. They're like, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah. We need to bring our other buddies. And all that. Yeah.
There was a lot. And I just remember you and your friends playing it, and I would like read the plot and the lore, I guess. And then also figure out how for you guys to solve the Easter eggs.
Yeah. Well, that's like the Call of Duty side of things. There are other other games that have used zombies. I mean, just to name a couple. I mean, there was The Last of Us, Dead Island.
You played Dead Island a little bit.
I don't remember as much of it. I don't know if I was really that into it when
I
I
think
initially
you
played it.
really liked it for like 10 minutes. Then it got weirdly difficult, I think.
I don't remember. That's a long time ago. That's an older game.
That was Jack Baby days.
There is let's see, Plants vs. Zombies. That one's really
I
well
love
known.
Plants vs. Zombies though.
Yeah.
Like that's also a different it's
not exactly the same, but yeah.
It's cutesy or whatever. It's geared towards, a younger audience. But it's more of a strategy, and you have plants that can shoot. So
sentient plants.
Sentient plants to fight off the zombies.
Yep.
But it's interesting. I think it's kind of cool. They don't really talk a lot about how the zombies came to be or anything.
No, and I don't think they would.
No.
They're just there because it's an enemy that makes sense. Zombies in this case are slow, so I mean that gives you time to get the resources you would need. So as a game mechanic, it makes sense.
Right. Plus, like you have to it's strategy, so it's different where you're just like deciding where you need to plant the plants and what kind of plants, and there's different styles or levels of zombies. They do different things, and
yeah. Let's see what else there is.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, well, Left 4 Dead, that one kind of changed up a little bit of the way that zombie games functioned at the time, because I don't remember when that one came out. Was that 2009 or 2006? The first one?
I'm not.
I think the second one came out in 2009. But I could be wrong. I don't even remember. It's been a bit.
Yeah, I lived in Idaho when it came out.
But basically, it takes 4 players working together, and obviously, you could have NPCs fill in the gaps, but it's never as successful.
You can use NPCs?
Yeah, you could have NPCs. You could go in and do it solo, but I mean, again, it's not as successful because anytime you get against like harder enemies, you're dead. You might as well just stop playing.
I only ever played it. I played it with one other person playing with me.
Oh.
And so it was just 2 of us. I didn't know you could use NPCs.
Yeah.
That might have helped.
Yeah, you can have NPCs fill the spaces.
It was interesting though because of the different zombies that they had.
Yeah, they had like the I think they called them the smokers, which had like a grapple tongue that could grab a player and take them out of the group, which you then had to like try to kill the thing and save them. They had the boomers, which would normally run up to you and explode with a whole bunch of things that they wished was still around.
They're like hunters.
Yeah, there was
or
the
stalkers or something. Hunter.
The hunters is basically a zombie in a hoodie that would jump on you,
and try and
and then there was
the witch.
Yeah, the witch that kind of was a big obstacle, as if you alerted her, that's when you had to immediately go into stealth, and if you alerted her, she would scream and summon a bunch of other zombies to rush you, as well as also like clawing your eyes out.
Yeah, and she was intense. Yeah. There was like a tank.
Yeah, the tank, that's pretty much where you'd need to have a full team of people if you wanted to try to kill it.
Yeah.
Because that would just annihilate your team. Pretty much one hit from it would down a player.
Yeah, and the whole point in that one is you have this team and you're trying to get to an extraction point.
Yeah, throughout various safe houses along the way that you get to. So it was a moderately lengthy campaign style where you go, and it wasn't bad in any means. It did start a different style of zombie gameplay.
Right,
I wasn't really seen before that.
Pretty interesting. When it first came out, I played it then.
Obviously, The Walking Dead has their hand in this as well. Telltale Games released a I don't know if I should say turn-based. It's more of like, or I guess quick action and all that, where you'd either have to respond to different questions that were presented from characters or quick time events that had to be done properly. Otherwise, your character you're playing as at the time would get either injured or killed and alter the story.
Yeah, it's kind of like choose your own adventure too.
Yeah. And that's the style that Telltale has gone with a lot of their games. I mean, I know they did that with the Borderlands series and all that when they did it.
I know that you played through The Walking Dead, the first, at least, Telltale game.
Yeah.
And it did have a good story.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I thought it was, I mean, it wasn't, you're not doing a very interactive gameplay, I guess.
No, it's more cinematic and it's yeah, like you said, a choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Right. But it had a really cool story.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at any of the other ones, but I'm pretty sure I cried at the end of that one because I'm sensitive.
Yeah. There's also more, it feels like more, to me, it was more of an open world style. I think it was, where is it here? Days Gone. I think that's the one that I was thinking of. You're like the guy riding around on his motorcycle.
Oh,
he's trying to meet up with his wife and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really play that one too much, but it seemed like it could have had all more potential of it. But again, it didn't get on my radar as far as something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Looking for PC style of games, there's DayZ. Obviously, that's one that's massive multiplayer open world style gameplay where there's zombies around. There'll be a little bit of a distraction, but your biggest enemy is going to be other players.
I don't like those. I don't like a game where I put in a bunch of work and like I have to go live my normal life because,
yeah.
And then somebody comes along and destroys. I hate that.
I don't remember if DayZ was the one that also had a mechanic where if you are not in the game, your character can still be attacked and looted potentially. If you are done with your play session for the time, you need to find a place where it would be safe. And then you go to that place and you essentially would quote unquote sleep. And then while you're offline, you're asleep. So if for some strange reason somebody finds you, they could potentially kill you and take your stuff.
Yes, that's horrible.
Yeah, I don't remember if that was DayZ or if I'm thinking of something else.
I know there's other games that are like that, and I don't want to play a game where I literally have to be like always playing it. I have a life.
Yeah.
Another interesting but old one is Dead Rising.
Dead Rising.
That's the one where you're in the mall.
Yep.
And like that one was kind of fun because everything could be a weapon. Like I remember dismantling a mannequin and running around with its leg and like beating zombies with it.
Yeah.
But you're a photojournalist or something?
Yeah. Well, and with the sequels for that, they also just made it so ridiculous. But they made it so that it was more comedic.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was pretty funny to begin with.
I think there was one way that you could like craft a chainsaw at the end of a stick or something like that and swing that around. I think that was one of them that I remember seeing.
I don't remember. I didn't get very far in it because I wasn't very good at it. But I thought it was funny. I think one series of games that is kind of zombies is Dead Space.
Oh, okay.
That's like space zombies.
Yeah.
And those are, at least the first one and the second one, for sure, are some of the, in my opinion, most well done horror games.
Yeah. And then obviously we haven't gotten around to looking into the Callisto Protocol.
I want to know.
But it does seem like it's been said that it's a spiritual successor to the Dead Space series, and which makes sense. A lot of the developers were on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember that Dead Space was it verged between like aliens and zombies, but they were kind of like possessed, kind of like more like the Evil Dead style, if that's makes any sense. On a space, Evil Dead in space
with aliens.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. It
wasn't really aliens.
No, it's like
frequencies.
What is it called?
The marker sending out
away. But that was from crazy. Okay, so the marker was created by ancient people of some sort, and it somehow like got into people's minds and like messed them up.
Oh.
And then the dead people weren't even necessarily, they were reanimated, but then they were called necromorphs.
Yeah.
And they were like morphed dead people, I guess.
Exactly, necromorphs.
Yeah. So they're a sort of zombie, but they're like a weird zombie human alien hybrid thing. I don't know. They were morphed in a way that made it so that they could achieve their goals easier.
Yeah. So obviously this was a lot more story driven. It's very different from, say, the example of Call of Duty Zombies, which are like round based. I remember Dead Space it had the potential of being a lot more difficult because you would have low supplies of ammo around. You had to rely on other ways of killing them, which would include, say, cutting off a limb and shooting it back into them, like pinning them to a wall or something like that, or throwing an object that you could pick up with like telekinesis or whatever it was and throwing it at them, either causing one of them to be able to explode or using explosive barrels that you could just shoot one round in, causing area of effect damage and all that too.
Yeah, I think one of the things that was most effective in the first game for sure is that you play as an engineer. Mm-hmm. You're not even like some super soldier. You're just a dude who fixes things on a space station, and they take you in because stuff's going wrong on the space station.
Yeah.
And you get trapped and you have to like try and find your way back to your ship, right?
I think so.
And
I remember the story for the second one more than I do the first one.
The story is so in depth again on this one, like the background behind everything. They tell you about the marker, the item that's causing all this. They tell you how it's been found and that there's like a cult that like worships it and they're trying to bring people in. And yeah, it's weird. It's like hive mind almost.
Yeah.
But one of the most effective things is that you're playing a regular person with tools that you would use to fix things on the ship. And he doesn't ever talk. Your character doesn't speak. Right?
I don't remember so much on the first one. The second one, he does have some dialogue, but that's during cutscenes when he's talking to other characters.
I'm pretty sure the first one, he doesn't speak. And that was one of the ways that you could really get immersed in it because you could put yourself in that position even more because you don't have a voice that's not yours attached to it.
Yeah.
But it was very, very, the environment and the zombie creatures were really, really cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Switching theming and pace on that one. There's also the zombies that have shown up in an extremely open world game, Minecraft. Mostly they're there because why not? You might as well have an enemy. And usually they show up at night or low light levels. I think it's mostly just there as an inhibitance because otherwise you would be able to just do whatever at any point in time. You need to have something to be able to kind of give some resistance to the player.
Right.
So.
Well, they have other enemies, but that's just one of them. Zombies. Like they have spiders and skeletons and...
Yeah. Well, the skeleton could be considered a zombie in that sense. I mean, it's a reanimated skeleton.
Yeah.
So
there's also lots of things in Roblox that are zombie themed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never really delved into Roblox, but I know they have zombie stuff there.
There's obviously the largest one with Resident Evil. I mean, you could make references to 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, was it 3? I don't remember. 4. I don't remember.
5.
It was 5. I don't remember when it was. It 6 that started with the.
I think
I don't remember.
Was 7, wasn't it?
Wasn't 7 the Village?
I don't know.
I don't remember anymore. There's also like other like versions of them that have come out too. But yeah, I know Resident Evil was a big one for the zombie scene.
Yeah. Well, and that was cool. Like they had a really, again, in-depth backstory for why they existed.
And you could also have yourself a Jill sandwich.
A Jill sandwich?
Yeah, that's Resident Evil 1.
Mm.
Yeah. Anyway, one of the wonderful, wonderful dialogues.
Biohazard.
Oh, okay.
That's 6.
Okay.
Resident Evil No, that's 7.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and Resident Evil 8 is Village.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because Resident Evil, I don't know. What's the 6th one? They made so many.
Yeah. Now, these are, of course, video games. I mean, going back to like tabletop games and all that, like zombies have been like pretty well known. I'm pretty sure they're featured within like Dungeons and Dragons and I'm trying to think like Magic. Like Magic the Gathering. There's like full themed play styles that are based off of zombies and all that, which go off of more card mechanics where like you have your standard deck where you draw your cards, your play field, and then your graveyard where like destroyed cards or used cards are put. And there's card effects that have like zombies in them that let you bring those cards back from the graveyard to your play field or your hand or whatever.
Yeah, the deck I used to always play was relied on that mechanic.
Yeah.
Had a lot of dead in it.
Yeah.
Actually, Xander was showing me, I believe it was a Ash zombie, and that was something from Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
Last night.
To me, that sounds like it's a zombie that is at a volcano.
So I think that's what I pictured. It was like,
or a zombie that was burned by a dragon or something like that. So it's like ash, but it's reanimated.
It was like what I pictured when he was telling me was this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but people of Pompeii.
Oh yeah,
like were being reanimated because they got
Yeah,
that's kind of what I pictured, and yeah, he showed me a picture, and they looked about like you would expect, I guess.
Yeah.
They looked cool though.
Original recipe or extra crispy.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, I mean.
That's
Yeah.
He's like.
Looks like there's a fan in front of him. So he's losing some of his ash.
That's one of those like glamour shots.
Hold on to your ash.
Ha.
Oh. Anyway, there's countless games that are going to be using zombies, not just as like our main theming, but also just generalized as well within there. I mean, I can't think of all of them.
I mean, I think there's even like some kind of sort of zombie aspects to some of the stuff in Binding of Isaac.
Probably.
At one point, you're going through a corpse and like it's still trying to kill you.
Yeah, like, and anybody familiar with the game, I mean, there's like the blue baby or like the 3 question mark. I mean, that's basically a zombie character. So
yeah, so there's zombies everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, they're inescapable at this point, and we all have to essentially like give a nod to George A. Romero for that, because he changed the way that zombies were seen. So allowing it to turn into
to become what it is.
Yeah. Oddly enough, it's funny that he made reference in the second one that he did. What was that? Day of the Dead? I think it was the Day of the Dead one with the mall and making the reference to consumerism and all that. I think it's funny that that was a reference that he made, and then all of a sudden there's zombies used in everything in the following years. So.
Now there's even like people do like zombie runs.
Oh yeah.
Where
I've seen those.
You do like a 5K or whatever, I don't know. Yeah. But you run through different terrain, and there's zombie actors that are out there to like try and, scare you.
Yep.
Apparently there is an app that you can get, an exercise app. Somebody told me about this, where you can have it seem like you're being chased by zombies.
Oh, that's fun.
While you're running, which, just gives you that motivation to keep running. I'm like, that's kind of weird. But, and there's like zombie parades and zombie conventions and
zombie weddings.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
That's a zombie wedding.
Yeah. There's also, I guess, with the whole VR thing that's come up, there are that's one of those things that have also become popular within VR. I mean, granted, sure, yes, Phasmophobia isn't zombie related. It's more ghosts and paranormal. Mm-hmm. It is capable for VR, and it does let you experience, I guess,
spooky
being haunted.
Stuff, yeah.
Because it is pretty up to scale, and it is pretty realistic when you're having something come right into your face and essentially peel your eyes apart.
It's intense.
But that's not so much the zombie side of things. There were a few. One that I can think of is Arizona Sunshine, where you're basically it feels like it's kind of like a mix between, like, I don't know, Daisy, The Walking Dead, a lot of these kind of games where you're just kind of trying to make your way back into civilization, but you're also able to, like, pick up guns and shoot them and all that. And in a VR environment, that actually allows you to kind of immerse you a bit more. So it's interesting in that sense.
There's a Walking Dead, isn't there, for the VR?
I think so, but I haven't really looked at it. So
don't we have it?
I don't think so.
Oh, is that Arizona Sunshine that we have?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought we had a Walking Dead game too. I thought Xander got it.
I don't know. If it's on the main Oculus, then I wouldn't know.
Oh.
So, but yeah, if you want to be immersed with zombie experiences, there's plenty of ways. So
and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're coming to get you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slow or fast.
Yeah.
They will be there.
Yep. Well, without going too much into anything else, we should probably take a short break in this case, and then we'll probably come back with our drink section.
Sounds good.
So, yeah.
At Til The Last Drop, we'd like to hear your stories, not have you become the story. So please, drink responsibly.
All right, so coming back, we're here with the drink. Mm-hmm. It's a long time coming, especially considering this has been a 2-part episode. So with this one, we decided to go with something that was a little bit more, I guess, themed aesthetically.
Yeah.
So we've got it's a rum.
Rum.
It's called Deadhead. It's a 10-year-old rum. I guess it's a Mexican origin rum. Mm-hmm. This one is a brief description here is like, it's Mexican rum made from cane juice and molasses. I guess their second most, I don't know, popular vintage is bottled in a monkey head.
Oh.
Don't worry, the monkey's head is made of glass.
Not an actual monkey head?
Yeah. This one, however...
It's not the Indiana Jones version?
No. That's for the monkey brains.
Well, yeah, I know.
This one, however, since that one was in a monkey head, this one is in like a shrunken head style bottle.
Yes.
So, hence the Deadhead name.
We'll have to put a picture of it up.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool bottle.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing, say, like a zombie or something for this, but considering that is not very consistent on its recipe, plus it's not really... I don't know. To me, it feels like one of those drinks that you'd go and you would literally see in, like, I don't know, a chained, how should I say this? A chained burger place that sells alcohol because they have TVs that play sports.
So like a sports bar?
No, not a sports bar. It's just like a chained restaurant that focuses on burgers.
Didn't we get a zombie at a restaurant like that?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't very good.
No,
it was mostly juice.
That one wasn't bad. I haven't really had any elsewhere, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But I didn't think it was bad. They had good chips.
Well, that and there's just the inconsistency of the recipes that go over. I mean, granted, yes, there's like an earlier recipe, and then there's some simplified recipes as well.
Didn't you try making at least one of the recipes the other night, the birthday party, and it was not pleasant?
Yeah, but it wasn't exactly like, I didn't have all of the ingredients, so I had to like substitute as well.
Okay. Well, it wasn't great.
No,
I would not choose to drink that.
No, I'm trying to see if I could figure out which one it was. Because, like I said, there's a lot of them here, and my references are all over the place. I think it might have been like the.
It had lime juice, didn't it?
It had yes, and grapefruit. That was the other one.
Yep.
It was like a simplified zombie, I guess. It was originally, I guess, the recipe's by Jeff Beachbum Berry.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds like somebody you could rely on.
Yeah.
For no offense to that person, but
Yeah.
like for a drink, I think that guy would, know
something
about a drink.
I mean, this one also used like 151, a dark Jamaican rum, some fresh lime juice, white grapefruit juice, some cinnamon syrup, and some mint. So
those are a lot of conflicting and strong flavors.
yeah. Well, there's also the what is this? Spivak,
Spivak,
or the mid-century zombie. That one's by Don Beach. Ingredients for that one are a little bit more in depth. It's white Puerto Rico rum, gold Puerto Rico rum, 151 rum, ideally lemon heart.
Lemon heart?
Yeah, heart. HART.
Oh.
Some fresh lime juice, fresh lemon juice, unsweetened pineapple juice. Yeah, good luck with that. Passion fruit juice, some simple syrup, a dash of bitters, and a sprig of mint.
Why do they keep putting mint in them?
Well, it is like it's garnish for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, these are like your typical like tiki drinks, if you will.
Oh, do they often have mint in them? I guess I'm not a frequenter of tiki drinks.
I mean, 2 out of 3 so far have it.
Huh.
Because then going back to like, if I can pull it up here, this one is Zombie Punch. This is like the original recipe.
Oh, isn't this the one that you're talking about? But it's like a massive quantity.
Yeah. Okay. It's a punch.
Yeah, so it's for like a party.
Yeah, pretty much. But that goes with like Puerto Rico, like gold Puerto Rico rum, dark Jamaican rum, 151. This one's Falernum. Don's Mix, which it's another mix that you have to make prior. So the same thing with the Falernum.
What is Falernum?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not looking at the recipe for that.
Oh, okay. So
but also,
recipes within recipes?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also the fresh lime juice. There's bitters. There's Herb Saint or Pernod, 6 drops. I don't use it, so I'm not familiar with it. There's grenadine and crushed ice as well. And of course the mint sprig for garnish.
Always with the mint.
Yeah.
I guess if it's just garnish, it won't rub off on the drink. I don't know. I'm not the biggest mint fan.
Since that one's a punch, it's kind of like going in there. I suppose that it's not really something you're going to get a lot of flavor out because it's just a sprig of mint. Even on the step that they say to add it says give your mint a good slap.
Give it a good slap.
Yeah, to release the oils and place in your drink. So it's literally just sitting on the top of it.
But you have to smack it first?
Yeah, and I mean I guess you could mix it with it, or
you're not like muddling it like a mojito?
No.
Okay.
So anyway.
Slapping it.
Slap of the mint.
Sorry, slap of the mint.
Slap of the mint. Well, I guess you're already holding the bottle, so I take it that you're gonna open that.
Ooh, yep. I did. I like that sound.
Yeah. Now this one was interesting. I've tried this one a little bit prior to the recording, so it's not unfortunately it's not a first taste experience on this one.
No, we've had this for a bit.
Yeah, but given a good scent behind it.
A good scent.
Yeah.
Give it a sniff.
Sure. No.
It smells like alcohol.
Yeah. Well, everything is going to smell like alcohol because they're alcohol. That's your primary. But there's a bit of a chocolatey aroma, some caramel notes as well.
Yeah, I picked up caramel.
So, and that's pretty nice.
Oh, you want me to pour it?
Yeah, go for it.
Is that what you do? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know what it smells like so far. It probably looks like a relatively darker rum. Not darker, but I should say like burnt amber.
A caramel color.
Okay, caramel works too.
Well, I mean, it's like a light caramel.
Yeah.
It's a light brown sugar color.
Okay, so in between like caramel and amber.
Yeah. So what's it supposed to taste like? What are the notes I'm supposed to pick up here?
In this one, it says on the palate, it offers a taste of chocolate, cherry, and butter, and the finish is sweet on finish.
Butter.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think I've heard butter mentioned in the flavor.
Nothing so far that we've had.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Are you going to wait for me to drink it too?
Yeah.
You give it a
Yeah.
opinion?
No,
Okay.
I was waiting. It's alcohol. I guess I can taste butter. I think that's because that's what was in my head.
Yeah.
I can taste butter though.
It's
That's weird.
It's relatively subtle.
Mm-hmm. But it's like at the end.
Yeah.
You taste it's like a little buttery like coating.
Yeah. I'm actually picking up on more of the caramel.
Camera?
More of the camera flavor. Yeah, no, more of the caramel flavor than the cherry, really.
Yeah, I didn't pick up cherry. I guess I could kind of get caramel or maybe chocolate. Something in that vein. But I definitely the aftertaste is I have a buttery taste, which is weird. And again, I don't know how much of that is because I was made aware that was a thing. And so my brain's like,
Yeah. It's like, oh, butter. There's butter.
Right. I mean, I bake a lot, so I'm familiar with butter. But yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, it's pretty. Again, like something like this, I probably wouldn't necessarily just want to mix it with something.
Right.
I mean, this is, I don't know, in the sense of most things, it's smooth enough that you could just like put it in a glass, maybe a little bit of ice, and just sip on it and be good.
This is a dessert drink.
Yes.
It tastes like dessert.
Yeah.
You have it with your little, pastry.
Yeah. I mean, of course, nothing in here would mention is like, oh, great for desserts. It's like.
No, but I mean, not that I'm drinking when I'm having my dessert, but like I could see that. Like
a nice slice of cake and a shot of rum.
Why not?
I mean, it works.
I mean, I've used rum in cake.
Well, yeah. That's rum cake.
Yep. It was a rum cake.
Yep. What rum did you use in that one? Was that?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I don't think
we used like something.
No, it was something cheaper.
It wasn't spiced.
No, it might have been. I don't know. It was a cheaper one that we have because I wasn't going to use like this.
Well, yeah.
And like this is not the cheapest.
Yeah.
And you have to use,
Well, yeah, considering this is classified as an anniversary edition as well. Mm-hmm. So it may not be as easy to obtain.
Yeah, this was the 10th anniversary. And
it was 2021
that we got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was available in June. I don't think we got it in June. We got it a little bit later, but considering that it's been just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that it might be a little harder to get a hold
come
of.
by. Yeah. Which means I'm definitely not going to use it in baking.
Yeah. But well, then considering that I know you like the different bottles and all that too.
I do. And this is a really neat bottle.
Yeah.
So even when we eventually finish it, we'll keep the bottle because it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. The Deadhead stuff, they also have them where this one is just glass all over, but they do have some that have like, what is it? It's like, I don't want to say it. It's like, it's a cord of some kind. It's almost like a natural hemp cord or something.
Like a rope?
Yeah. It's not as tight as a rope, but it's like to tie the mouth and the eyes on the bottle. So it just adds a little bit more of the aesthetic on there.
That's a really tight lid.
Yeah. Yeah. That and it came with two different lids. There's one that's just a standard wood with, I guess, a rubber stopper. Mm-hmm. They've kind of gone away from cork. And then there's like a more decorative one that just kind of flares out the top of the bottle that's made of glass. Mm-hmm. So, and that one's clearly the one that looks the best.
It looks really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It goes really well because like the top of the bottle is the hair.
Yeah.
Like the mouth, the spout or whatever.
Yep.
So it's a cool bottle.
Yeah. So
and it's not a bad rum. I mean.
Yep.
I typically drink things mixed with other things, but that's not bad.
I mean, I might as well just give a little read off the back as well for their description of their anniversary edition. It says an exotic single blended rum from the juices. Oh, I'm sorry, the jungles of the Chiapas, made from the sugarcane juice. That's where the juice comes in, and molasses. This rum has been resting in oak barrels filled in 2011 to celebrate our 10th anniversary.
I'm not sure where the Chiapas is, but I imagine we probably would not want to make something from the juices of it.
South of here.
Yes, I get that. Let's not juice the land or the people. I don't even know. Jungles.
Well, I skipped a line down, so it didn't help.
No.
So it's supposed to be cane juice.
Yes, from the jungles.
From the chicken.
From the chicken?
The cane juice.
What?
Never mind.
Oh, canes. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Okay.
No, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that pretty much goes for our drink right there. Is there anything else that you wanted to bring up?
No.
Maybe on that Deadhead or?
No, I think that's pretty good.
All right. Well, I guess that'll do it for our exceedingly long zombie episode. So
we didn't even cover. There's so much more. Zombies is a big topic, and it's varied. I should say that.
Well, we went into
but we did a good little overview.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, for anybody new that's just catching on now, this is Till the Last Drop. We are on, if you're looking for us to get a hold of us, I mean, we're on Facebook. We have an email that's linked to our website, tillthelastdrop.com. Not only can you listen to our podcasts and episodes up there too, but we have some past information on some of our episodes, as well as potential new and upcoming things as well. It's been a little bit since it's been updated. Our scheduling has not been the greatest.
There's been a lot going on.
Yeah, but we're not affiliated with any kind of like large production company or anything like that either. This is 100% independent.
Yeah, this is us.
Yep. But we are also on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, I think Amazon as well. A lot of the places. Yeah. So you can find it.
Look for us wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah. And of course,
thank you for listening Till the Last Drop.
Yep.
Thank you for listening Till the Last Drop. For more paranormal experiences served up with a themed drink, check us out wherever you listen to podcasts.